Vanilla cake recipe. Check out these 4 recipes. Number 1. Mini vanilla cake recipe. Prep time 15 minutes. Cook time 33 minutes. Additional time 20 minutes. Total time 1 hour and 8 minutes. Ingredients: mini vanilla cake recipe. 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 130 grams. 1 cup of granulated sugar, 200 grams. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 4 grams. 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 gram. 1/4 cup of unsalted butter melted, 56 grams or half a stick. 1/4 cup of vegetable or canola oil, 56 grams. 1 egg, 56 grams. Half a cup of buttermilk or whole milk, room temperature, 115 grams. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 4 grams. Gel food coloring if desired. Vanilla buttercream frosting. 3/4 cup of unsalted butter, room temperature, 169 grams. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract or vanilla bean paste, 8 grams. 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 gram. 3 cups of powdered sugar, 375 grams. 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of heavy cream or whipping cream, 20 grams. Instructions: mini vanilla cake layers. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Line 3 4-inch or 2 6-inch round pans with parchment rounds and grease with non-stick baking spray. Mix together all dry ingredients, flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, with a whisk until fully combined. Pour the melted butter, oil, and egg into the dry ingredients and whisk until combined. The batter will be thick. Add the buttermilk and vanilla extract and mix until just combined. The key is to mix until the ingredients are just incorporated so that the batter isn't overmixed. If desired, add in the gel food coloring. Mix the color in by hand using a rubber spatula, scraping the sides and bottom of the bowl partway through. Divide the batter evenly between the prepared cake pans. Bake for 30 to 33 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. Allow the pans to cool for 10 minutes, then run an offset spatula around the perimeter of the pan to separate the cake from the pan. Place the cake layers into the freezer for 20 minutes to accelerate the cooling process. Once the layers are fully cooled, carefully flip the pans and remove the layers from the pans. Use a serrated knife to level the tops of the layers and then frost as desired. Vanilla buttercream frosting. While the cake layers bake and cool, make the vanilla buttercream frosting. Mix in the vanilla extract or vanilla bean paste and salt on a low speed. Beat the butter on a medium speed for 30 seconds with a paddle attachment until smooth. Slowly add in the powdered sugar, 1 cup at a time. Alternate with small splashes of cream. Continue to mix on low speed for a few minutes until the desired consistency is reached. If the frosting is too thick, add in additional cream, 1 teaspoon at a time. If the frosting is too thin, add in more powdered sugar, 1/4 cup at a time. If you plan to color the buttercream, add in the gel food coloring once the frosting is fully made and beat on low until it reaches the desired color. To assemble the cake, stack and frost cake layers on a small plate or cake stand using a dab of frosting to help stick the first cake layer to the board. Add an even layer of buttercream between each cake layer with a large offset spatula. Add a thin coat of frosting around the cake, fully cover the cake layers. Smooth using a bench scraper, then chill the cake in the fridge for 20 minutes or freezer 5 minutes until the frosting is firm to the touch. Add a second, thicker layer of frosting to the cake and smooth using a bench scraper, then decorate as desired. Number 2. Butter cake. The best. Prep time 10 minutes, cook time 50 minutes, total time 1 hour. Instructions: 7 ounces of cake flour or all-purpose flour, 200 grams or scant 1.5 cups, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, 2 sticks of unsalted butter at room temperature, 225 grams of butter, 7 ounces of sugar, 200 grams or 1 cup, 4 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 4 tablespoons of plain yogurt, preferred or full milk. Instructions: preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. Lightly grease the pan, loaf pan, mini loaf pan, 8 by 8 inch or 9 by 9 inch square pan, round pan with some butter. Mix the flour and the baking powder together and sieve. Add in the salt and mix well. Set aside. Use an electronic hand mixer or stand mixer to beat the butter and sugar until well combined or pale yellow in color, about 3 minutes. Add in the first egg. Beat well after each addition of egg until creamy, about 1 to 2 minutes after adding each egg. Scrape down the sides for even mixing. Add in the vanilla extract and mix well. Fold in the flour and mix well. Add in the plain yogurt or whole milk. Pour the batter into the greased baking pan. Shake it lightly to distribute the cake batter evenly. Bake until golden brown and cooked, about 40 to 50 minutes. To prevent the top of the cake from over-browning, cover the top of the baking pan with a sheet of aluminum foil once the cake top is set. Use a cake tester to test doneness. Remove it from the oven and let cool on a wire rack for 5 minutes. Cut into pieces and serve warm. Number 3. Easy vanilla cake recipe from scratch. Instructions for the cake: 2 cups or 380 grams of granulated sugar, half a cup or 118 milliliters of vegetable oil, 3 large eggs, 1 tablespoon or 14.8 milliliters of vanilla extract, half a cup or 118 milliliters of light sour cream, 2.5 cups or 350 grams of all-purpose flour, 3 teaspoons or 11.2 grams of baking powder, 1 teaspoon or 5 grams of salt, 1 1/4 cups or 296 milliliters of milk. I use non-fat. For the frosting, 3/4 cup or 170 grams of unsalted butter, cold, 2.5 cups or 325 grams of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon or 5 milliliters of pure vanilla extract, 1 tablespoon or 15 milliliters of heavy whipping cream. Instructions: preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. In a large mixing bowl, combine the sugar, vegetable oil, eggs, and vanilla extract. Beat on medium speed until the eggs and oil are well incorporated and the batter is lighter in color, about 2 minutes. Scrape down the bowl as needed. Next, mix in the sour cream and beat until well combined. Add half of the flour, followed by the baking powder and salt, and beat on low speed while pouring in half of the milk and mix just until the flour starts to incorporate. Finally, add the remaining flour, mixing at low speed while pouring in the remaining milk and beating until all of the ingredients are well combined. Use a spatula to scrape down the sides of the bowl and stir the batter from the bottom to the top to ensure it's well mixed. Pour the batter in a 9-inch by 13-inch pan and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 28 to 32 minutes, keeping a careful eye on the baking during the last few minutes. Remove from the oven and allow to cool completely. Test the cake for doneness by inserting a toothpick into the center of the cake. If the toothpick comes out clean, your cake is done. Cut the butter into pieces. Using a paddle attachment, whip the butter for 5 to 7 minutes, scraping down the bowl occasionally, beating until the butter looks light in color. Add the powdered sugar and mix on low speed until incorporated into the butter, then add the vanilla extract and heavy cream and mix to combine. Beat for about 60 seconds. Continuing beating on low until the ingredients start to mix together. Increase the speed to medium-high and beat for another 3 to 5 minutes to whip additional air into the frosting. Spread over the cooled cake. Number 4. Perfect vanilla frosting. Prep time 15 minutes. Total time 15 minutes. Yields 4.5 cups. Ingredients: 1.5 cup or 339 grams or 3 sticks of unsalted butter, cold, 5 cups or 650 grams of powdered sugar, 2½ teaspoons or 12 milliliters of pure vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons or 30 milliliters of heavy whipping cream or milk. Instructions: cut the butter into pieces. Using the paddle attachment, whip the butter for 5 to 7 minutes, scraping down the bowl occasionally, beating until the butter looks light in color. Add 2 cups of powdered sugar and mix on low speed until incorporated into the butter, then add the vanilla extract and mix to combine. Beat for about 60 seconds. Next, add an additional 2 cups of powdered sugar and beat on low speed until sugar is incorporated. Increase the speed to medium-high and beat for 3 minutes. Add last 1 cup of powdered sugar along with the heavy whipping cream. Beat on low until the ingredients start to mix together. Increase the speed to medium-high and beat for another 3 to 5 minutes to whip additional air into the frosting.